Let me tell you the story of Bellott v. Mountjoy. Bellott v. Mountjoy was a rather uninteresting little court case that came to trial in London in the year of our Lord 1612. The heart of the case was this. Bellott was a former apprentice to Mountjoy who married Mountjoy's daughter about 8 years earlier. At the time of the marriage, certain promises had been made regarding dowry and inheritance which had never been paid, and now Bellott was suing for the money he believed was owed. Nothing terribly earth-shattering or of great consequence, except for one teensy-weensy little detail. One of the sworn depositions for the case was given by one William Shakespeare. Shakespeare had been a boarder with the Mountjoys on Silver Street in Cripplegate in 1604, thus giving us the only known London address of the man. At the time Shakespeare lived with Mountjoy, they had the apprentice Bellott. According to the testimony of others, Mrs. Mountjoy prevailed upon Shakespeare to convince Bellott to marry her daughter. He was successful in convincing Bellott to marry the daughter, and he even performed the hand fasting, which was a kind of ceremony we don't use these days, which was an intermediate between engagement and marriage. He was to be the star witness for Bellott. His deposition is the only record we have of him speaking, not as a playwright, not as a poet, but as himself, William Shakespeare, the man. It is therefore very disappointing. Other witnesses gave depositions lasting pages. His barely covers one side of one page. His answers are short and curt. Yes, no, don't remember, don't know, are the answers he gave. Then he signed the deposition, one of his 6 extant signatures, and left. Someone tried to read something into this. He was a crabbed old man by that time. He was having a bad day. His relations with the Bellotts soured after they'd moved in with a former collaborator of his and with whom he'd had a falling out. All of this is possible, but none of this is certain. It is virtually impossible to read anything concrete into this passage. Too much of its context has been lost to time. And all we are left with is a piece of paper that tells us the one time we had a chance to hear Shakespeare speak for himself as himself. He had nothing to say.